Wrestlemania 10. Here we are. We have come to another milestone WrestleMania. The WWF, I would have thought they would have made a bit more of a big deal of a WrestleMania 10. To be honest, they didn't really give me that much to be that excited about going into it. The only thing I was looking forward to going into rewatching this was the fact that this was the very first WrestleMania that I was a fan for. This is the very first WrestleMania which I was alive for, and I was a fan, and I could not wait for this event at the time. I remember at the time really looking forward to a 5-on-5 tag team match, because at the time when I was a kid, that 5-on-5 match was crazy. Who would win? Oh, I can't wait to find out. They ended up taking it off the card and putting it on Raw the next night, and it was awful. So here we go. WrestleMania 10. All about this guy, Bret the Hitman Hart, who had lost the title the year before, as you can see him here, to Yokozuna. Yokozuna then also lost it to Hulk Hogan, who then re-dropped it back to Yokozuna at King of the Ring 1993. Then at Royal Rumble 1994, the winner gets a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. Bret Hart, Lex Luger, the last two men in. They both scrapping and then they both go over the top rope at the exact same time. WWF shows a lot of teasing little angles and you can't tell who's gone over first, so they say, right, you've both winners, you'll both get a match, we'll have a coin toss, whoever picks right, whoever picks whatever the outcome is of the heads or tails, you'll have the first match. It turns out Lex Luger chose heads. Lex Luger's going to WrestleMania to face Yokozuna. Bret Hart, however, will also get a match and he'll face the winner of that match later on in the night. But it's not going to be just as easy as that for Bret Hart, because he's got to face his brother in a feud that has been going on since Survivor Series 1993. This is about 4 or 5 months in the making right now. And it all came from the Hart family going against Jerry Lawler and his 3 Knights. Jerry Lawler was arrested, and then Shawn Michaels filled in for him. And it was Shawn Michaels and the 3 Knights in a not so ridiculous match where they were against the Hart family. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Bruce Hart and Keith Hart. A 4-on-4 Survivor Series match. The only person who's eliminated in the entire match is Owen Hart. When he's whipped into the ropes, he knocks Bret Hart off the ropes, he turns around, he gets rolled up, 1, 2, 3, Owen Hart's eliminated. He ends up blaming Bret Hart for this, and this begins one of the biggest rivalries in pro wrestling history, one of the best rivalries in pro wrestling ever. Then they go on to the Royal Rumble. Bret Hart and Owen Hart, we've got rid of all of our problems. We are brothers. We will go for the tag team titles against the Quebecers. But Bret Hart hogs the limelight and Owen Hart cannot stand it, so he kicks the injured leg out from under Bret the Hitman Hart. And here we are, the next pay-per-view. Bret Hart opening the show against his brother Owen Hart in a 1-on-1 match, which Owen Hart surprisingly wins. Now, as a fan, you'd think logic would dictate Bret Hart's got a world title match later on this night. He's got to win this match. Bret has got to win so he looks strong for later on tonight. But no, Bret probably pulled a bit of a stroke in the back, said, no, listen, I want to put my brother over. I want to put my brother over at WrestleMania 10. I'm going to win the title later on the night, so I want to put Owen over first. And that's what he did. He did a fantastic job. This is a very good match, and he puts over Owen Hart. Owen Hart gets the win over Bret Hart when he stops the victory roll and gets the pin. Earlier on in the show, Little Richard sung the national anthem and was overly ridiculous with it, in my opinion. And I was looking on Rolling Stone's website and they rate him as one of the top 10 artists of all time, which I think is pretty mental. Anyway, next match after the Bret Hart Owen Hart match was a mixed tag team match. Bam Bam Bigelow versus Luna Vachon. No, Bam Bam Bigelow and Luna Vachon versus Doink the Clown and Dink the Clown. Now, I loved Doink and Dink at the time. This was a mixed tag team match. It was a man and a woman versus a man and a midget. Now, this is quite condescending on both ends, saying that midgets are equal to women and women are equal to midgets. It's like, are you seriously trying to tell me that they're all inferior to men and then, like, women are the same as midgets? It's very condescending, I thought. But maybe that's just me. Anyway, Bigelow and Luna Vachon end up getting the win, but I remember at the time being a massive Doink the Clown fan and being upset when he lost this match. Next up, Falls Count Anywhere match. Macho Man Randy Savage versus Crush. They used to be good friends. They were booked as good friends, but then Crush attacked Macho Man Randy Savage. And he chucks him up in the air and he brings him crashing down on a guardrail. And that's exactly how they started this match. Lifts him up in the air, drops him on top of a guardrail. Savage holds his neck, holds his mouth like, oh shit, you've fucked me over. But this is weird rules for this match. This isn't just your regular Falls Count Anywhere match. This is a Falls Count Anywhere match where you have to pin your opponent on the outside, and then you have to get back in the ring, and then your opponent has 1 minute to return to the ring. So straight off the bat, Crush pins Savage, 1, 2, 3, gets back in the ring. With 2 seconds left, Savage gets back in the ring. Well, 1 second left, it got there under 2. Then he does the same to Crush, he pins him on the outside. Crush ends up getting back in the ring with help of Mr. Fuji. Anyway, they end up fighting to the back. Savage ends up pinning Crush in the back, then tying his legs up with this rope, trying to hang him upside down, but then the rope wouldn't, the like little cord wouldn't stick, so he just slid back down, so it looked pretty stupid. Like he wasn't even suspended there anymore. Savage gets back to the ring. Crush doesn't answer the 1 minute 60-second count. Macho Man Randy Savage wins the match. Pretty boring match, to be honest. I remember thinking that at the time as well, not liking it. Next match, Women's Championship, Alundra Blaze versus Leilani Kai. Now, Leilani Kai had been on WrestleMania 1. And during this match, they showed a bunch of wrestlers who were at well, not at ringside, but they were in the crowd who wrestled at WrestleMania 1. It was a nice little touch, but they didn't really announce them beforehand. Alundra Blaze beats Leilani Kai in an okay women's match. Also, this is the first WrestleMania that had Vince McMahon on the commentary. It also was the first WrestleMania that had Jerry the King Lawler present, and he was on commentary throughout the entire night, and he was doing the typical King stuff. He was very good in this match, I would say, just like he was in the early part of his career where he wasn't a good commentator. Well, early part of his commentary career, I'm saying. Right, next match, the Quebecers versus Men on a Mission for the WWF Tag Team Championships. Quebecers, the bad guys, they'd just beaten Owen Hart and Bret Hart the month, well, the Royal Rumble, the pay-per-view before this. Then they were up against Men on a Mission, the one chubby black guy and one obese black guy. And earlier on, they'd done the WrestleMania rap where they did all the bollocks and all that. And then they had it was Mo and Mabel, and Oscar was the guy who would come to the ring doing their little raps and all that. And I was sort of behind Men on a Mission. Mabel, Viscera, did a spin heel kick, and I was like, wow! I mean, it wasn't a great spin heel kick, but it was like a spin heel kick. I was like, that was pretty good. I didn't realise how athletic he actually was, but he is quite athletic for a big man, especially in this early days of his career. Men on a Mission ended up winning by like count out or disqualification. Obviously, you can't win the titles on a count out or disqualification. This is stuff they used to do all the time on the early WrestleManias, by having count out victories and stuff. And it's stuff I really wouldn't. We don't really see that anymore on WrestleMania because they've grown out of that, which is good. Next up, WWF Championship match. Yokozuna defending against Lex Luger. Special guest referee, Mr. Perfect, who'd faced Lex Luger the year before. This time's roles were reversed. Perfect was playing a bit of a heel, although we didn't really know it yet, and Luger was the face. Luger ends up knocking Yokozuna out, and then Jim Cornette jumps up on the apron, being his American representative. Jim Cornette's Yokozuna's American representative. Mr. Fuji's his manager. Both guys jump up on the apron. Luger lays them both out. And then just as he goes to pin Yokozuna, Mr. Perfect won't count the 3. And I remember at the time thinking, he's done nothing wrong. Mr. Perfect's done nothing wrong. He's trying to see if these guys are alright or not. But then again, I was in, this is 1994, so I was only 5 at the time of this event. Watching back, that was just heel 101 referee, like, oh, you're pinning him behind me, oh, sorry, I'm not looking, I've got to pay attention to this guy who's not even in the match, oh, you're pinning him, oh, sorry. Like, and then like, Luger's like, oh, no, over here. So he's like, oh, over here. So then, as Luger climbs on top of him, Perfect walks right past him, starts checking on Mr. Fuji. Luger starts pushing him, Mr. Perfect disqualifies him, end of the match. Luger goes in the back and him and Perfect get into it in the back. Next match, Adam Bomb versus the Earthquake in a match that was very, very quick. Earthquake won it in quick time, and there's a little anecdote for you. I remember at the time watching it. I don't think, well, all WWE pay-per-views at the time were on Sky Sports, and at the time I did not have Sky Sports, but my uncle did. So what my parents did was they asked him, oh, will you tape this for Adam? So they was like, yeah, we'll tape it for him. Anyway, they do the taping for me, next day we go to their house, or maybe I think it was the next day because I was really excited to watch it. So we go to their house the next day. I'm watching it in the living room. My dad and my uncle are in the other room because they don't want to watch wrestling. I'm watching it, and Adam Bomb loses to the Earthquake in such a quick time. I immediately had to run to the other room and tell him all about it, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, dad, look, honestly, it was well good, it was so good. Earthquake just came down, and he just threw Adam Bomb on the floor, and then he jumps up and down like this, and then I even put a pillow on the floor, and I remember jumped up and down all the way like the Earthquake did. Then I ran to one side, then I ran to the other, then I jumped up and I sat on it, and then I covered it, and then the referee counted 1, 2, 3, and I was like, yeah, and I was the winner. And then my dad was like, yeah, alright, nice one. You know, like adults do to kids when they're at, like, sugar rush, like, oh my god, I've just seen this. It's like, yeah. I remember being really excited at the time, watching it back. This is rubbish, like, I don't know why it was on the card. Maybe because it made look kids like me excited. Anyway, Intercontinental title match, ladder match, Razor Ramon versus Shawn Michaels. Backstory here: Shawn Michaels was stripped of the Intercontinental Championship because he had not defended it in 30 days. A stipulation that I believe they should continue to carry on through to today's wrestling, because I don't like it when we don't see the titles defended. Like, Jack Swagger's not really defended his title that much apart from on the pay-per-view the other night. Anyway, so we've got Shawn Michaels stripped of the title. They have a battle royal. Razor Ramon wins it then. Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels get into it. They start a little feud going up, so they thought, right, let's put both titles at the top of a ladder. Whoever climbs up and reaches them first wins the titles. Diesel was backing up Shawn Michaels at the time. Straight away at the start of the match, referee says, Diesel, fuck off, mate. Get out of here. I know you're going to mess around. Get out of here. This is no disqualification. I don't want you messing anything up. So Diesel's out of there. Now it's Shawn Michaels one-on-one with Razor Ramon in a fantastic ladder match. If you've not seen it, I highly recommend that you do go and find it. You can probably find it on YouTube. If you just type in Razor Ramon WrestleMania 10, you'll find that match. Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 10, you'll find that match. Watch it. It's a very good match. The crowd is so into it as well. So into it. People like to say, oh, why does the crowd matter? The crowd doesn't matter to your enjoyment. It does, because it's just a basic human emotion that if someone else is enjoying something, you want to enjoy it too. You want to enjoy it with them. You don't want to be the grump on the other side, like going, no, I don't want to watch this. It's not the be-all and end-all, but it does help. It's one of the little factors that do help to make it's one of the small parts of the recipe that is in the wrestling cake. Wrestling is a big cake. Quote me on that. Anyway, Razor Ramon ends up getting the win. Fantastic match. I'm just picturing the match, the end of the match in my head, where Shawn Michaels is on the ladder, Razor throws him off, Shawn Michaels gets his leg tangled up in the rope, Razor Ramon hobbles towards the ladder, starts getting up there, Michaels finally frees his leg, but now his arm's caught in the ropes, and now he just frees his arm, and then just as he reaches towards the ladder and jumps out, Razor Ramon falls down with both titles, and afterwards he climbs on top, holds both titles out, very proud. I am the new Intercontinental Champion, undisputed. Here we go. Main event time. Bret Hart versus Yokozuna. Both guys had fought early on in the night. Bret Hart had lost a match. Yokozuna had been made to look weak by losing to Lex Luger. Did that matter? No, it didn't, because this is the world title match on WrestleMania 10. It does not matter. Bret is strong. Yoko's strong. It's a rematch from the year before. It wasn't a good match. I'll tell you that now. The ending was rubbish. Yokozuna gets on top for a bonsai drop, loses his balance, Bret rolls out of the way, Yoko falls down, Bret covers him, 1, 2, 3, end of the match. Roddy Piper was the special guest referee. Everyone comes down to the ring, holds Bret up, Owen Hart comes down, and everyone's like, oh, Owen Hart, this can be his chance to reconcile with Bret. They can become friends again. They're brothers. They've already got over the problems once. They've fought each other tonight. Owen won. Bret's the new champion. Surely Owen will come down and support him. And no, he doesn't. He just stands there in the aisle looking angry as Savage holds the rope up and saying, come on, mate, come down. Celebrate with your brother. He won't do that. He doesn't want to do that. Everyone's holding Bret up. Nice little way to end the show. This is my very first WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen. What did you guys think of this show? Come on, we must be getting to the ones now which you guys have seen. What do you think of the WrestleMania 10 show? What do you think of this review of the show? What do you think about the wrestlers I've talked about? I want to know your opinions. Come on, guys, give me your opinions. That's why I do these videos. With this, I am out. Thank you very much for watching. Like I always say, let me know your thoughts in the description box down below. Give me a like or a dislike. Hit that subscribe button. Go tell a friend. Go call your mama. Call Brutus Clay's mama. With that, I'm out. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you very, very, very soon with a WrestleMania 11 review.